Hey guys, good morning. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. It's so great to have you here. Please be sure to check out my QR code at believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's a Saturday morning, June 29th, and I can't believe that Monday we're going to be on July 1st already. That is pretty awesome. All right, guys, let's roll here. Thank you so much for being here, whether you're 10:24 a.m., 10:24 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., it doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate you. So this master topic for the week is keys to perseverance. That is our topic for the week, starting with the Saturday and remember ending out on next week, which, by the way, will be July 5th, the day after 4th of July. All right, guys. So the master topic is for the granular. The master we know is keys to perseverance, but the granular topic, ladies and gentlemen, is finding your way through confusion. All right. So first of all, what is confusion? And that's a great question. So let's go over to Merriam-Webster and ask her, what is confusion? So according to Merriam-Webster, confusion is a noun. It's an act or instance of confusing, the quality or state of being confused. Okay, so now I'm really perplexed. So what the heck does that mean? We got to look up the word confusing. That's a verb, to disturb in mind or purpose, throw off, to make indistinct, to blur, to fail, to differentiate from an often similar or related other task, to mix indiscriminately, like to jumble things, to make embarrassed, abash. So that's what confusion is. And so now that we know what confusion is, it can happen in our life. It can happen because we're working on tasks. It can happen because we've got a lot of things going on. It can happen because of distractions outside us, in our body, out of our body, right? Really important. So the other thing I want to share with you is that the grass is not greener on the other side, okay? The grass is not greener on the other side. And so I want to tell you that it's important that you understand that the grass is not greener on the other side. That is probably the most important thing I can share with you, is that the grass is not greener on the other side. And so thinking about, the grass and being greener and things like that, I think it's important to know that the grass is not greener on the other side. It might look greener, but it really is not greener. So I think that is a really, really big challenge for some people, because they don't understand what it means to have grass green on the other side. They look at their neighbor like, oh, wow, it's a lot easier on that side. But it's not any easier. It's just an illusion because you're not in that situation. All right. All right. So the next question is, if I was not confused, what would I know from my gut? All right, that's a loaded question. If I was not confused, what would I know from my gut? So it's like asking ourselves some type of question, isn't it? And then that question is hopefully going to get us to resonate in a certain way. Because when we think about what we want, even though we're so overwhelmed with what's happening right now, it's like it gives our brain a chance to relax for a moment, okay? It gives us a chance to relax. And by giving us a chance to relax, there's a lot of cool things that can happen. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. All right, guys. So thinking about this whole confusion thing might be perplexing. But, as I said to you, ask your gut. Like, all right, I don't know what I should be doing, but what does my gut think I should do? If I knew, what would it be? And you'll be surprised how you ask those kind of questions to yourself that you'll get answers. All right. Recognize both sides of the conflict. One side might necessarily be easier or be better, but one side of the conflict is just that. It's understanding that it comes down to who we are, right? And who we are is not necessarily about um, everything in the world, but it comes down to things like, what we do. Okay, what we do. And so what we do is a pretty amazing thing, if you ask me. All right, it's a pretty amazing thing. So how do we change that? Well, we have to change our perception. We have to change our perception. And so our perception is something that you might not necessarily understand. Okay? Right? That makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. But if we know something and we're able to go a certain way, then how do we react? How do we change that situation? Um, I think that's really what we're coming down to. And I think that's something that might be a problem. And that's a pretty cool thing. Okay. It's a pretty cool thing because if we know that we're doing something a certain way, we're going to get a perception of something. Okay. I think that's a big challenge. Think about that. I think that could be a challenge for a lot of people because they get inundated by something, right? They get inundated. And so recognizing that both sides of the conflict, okay, are important. All right, the next step, ladies and gentlemen, is step away from the situation for a while. Just step away. Could be for 5 minutes, could be for 20 minutes, could be an hour, could be a day. It doesn't really matter. But step away from the situation. All right? Step away from it and then come back. And you're going to see that you have an entirely new perspective. Entirely new perspective. And I think when you realize that, you can have that perspective, you change with who you are. You change with who you are, and that change will affect like your life. And the reason it affects your life is because you're seeing things a different way. You're seeing things a different way. And that different way may not be right, may not be wrong, but it's just different. Okay? And different sometimes is hard for some people to manage. Okay? It's hard for people to manage that. And the reason I think it's hard is because they don't understand why something is working a certain way. Why something is working a certain way. And that way is not necessarily good. That way is not bad. It basically just is. And so thinking about what things are in your life and how things are, you might be wondering like why something is a certain way. But in reality, it's that way because of the way you're seeing the world right now. Okay? That's why it is that way. And so thinking about what you do in life, thinking about the fact that confusion is normal. You know, if we weren't confused, we wouldn't have the ability to change and refine what we're doing in life. Last point, imagine where you want to be. Okay, I'm stuck today. So where would I be if I was not stuck? That's a tough question because some people do not know the answer to it. And the reason they don't know the answer to it is because stuck to them means that there's no way out. See, stuck to me means I'm temporarily blocked, but I know it's not a permanent block. Does that make sense? It's not a permanent block. And if it's not a permanent block, then you have a lot of potential. Okay? You have a lot of potential. And so potential comes from our environment, what we're doing or what we're not doing. I mean, that's where potential comes from. And so thinking about your life, thinking about where you want to be. So if you're stuck right now and you have to get to the other side, right? Picture what it's like to be on the other side, you know, and think about all the things in your body and how you would be on that side, how you would act on that side, how you would see, how you would hear, how you would touch, how you would taste. We talked about this last week in captivating our audience, but it's also important in captivating us. That's an important thing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that is really, really important. And it's important because you need to understand where something is coming from. Okay? Where something is coming from. And I think if we start to understand where something is coming from, we might be able to change where we're going just by altering our path. That doesn't sound hard, does it? No, but it does take a little effort. It takes a little effort, takes a little work, but it's something that is definitely able to be done. And if we understand that, then maybe we'll be a little unstuck. But don't think of being stuck like you're in concrete. Stuck just means that I'm not able to move right now. Maybe I'm out of gas. Maybe there's a road that's blocked. Maybe there's an accident. Maybe there is a weather condition, but you're only temporarily blocked. You're not permanently blocked. I think a lot of people get stuck because when they notice the situation like, oh, I'm permanently blocked. But you're not permanently blocked. You're not. That permanently blocked is why you're not advancing to the next level. And when we think about confusion, maybe people are confused when they're learning something because our brain's trying so hard to assimilate everything. And it's trying to take what we already know and latch it to something that we're learning. And so when we can't latch something we already know to something we're learning, it's like we're frustrated. We don't know how to make ends meet. Or if we're trying to do a task, like, I don't know where to start because our brain can't process it. So we might have to step back. We might have to take that into parts. We might have to understand that, what do I know? Let's just start with what do I know? And let's see if we can get that little piece. Don't worry about how big of a piece it is. Just worry about what do I know and then start from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing Saturday morning, June 29, 2024. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another show of Inspirations for Your Life. In the meantime, check out the QR code. Go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you guys tomorrow with another episode. Take care and be well, everyone, okay?